in the early part of the 1800s, Galois and the French mathematician Galois and the Norwegian mathematician Niels Henrik Abel showed that the fifth degree equation could never be solved in the same way that the simpler equations could be solved. It's a fantastic story in the history of math. And my self-imposed task was to find out if this great accomplishment could be understood in the same kind of way that we always understood in high school, that you said when you understand something you really feel it. You understand, you can see why it's true. It's not something that you just go through the steps of the proof line by line, and because you can't find any errors in each of the steps you think that the last line must be true. Because this is the way they tell you. You have to understand this fantastic accomplishment. I wanted to see if it could be understood in that kind of better way, the kind of way that makes mathematics worthwhile. Because, you know, being able to prove these fantastic things, or being able to recite the steps of the proof, what's the use of it? I mean, is this an education? I don't see any point in submitting people to this because okay, math is useless to begin with, right? So if you're not enjoying it, if it's not teaching you something about how to think, then what's the point of it? If the only lesson to be learned from it is that the way to think is just to believe what you're told and follow the steps in the book, you see, this is what's wrong with your education, if this is all that you get out of it. So what I'm trying to say is the reason I do all these high-level topics is because, you know, we already knew that math was fun, you know, that the easy math, the high school level stuff was fun and beautiful. But in university they told us that the hard stuff was different. That don't ask us to have fun with this. Don't ask us why we're not explaining it so that you can enjoy it or so you can understand it. Because there are no good explanations for this. The only thing is to suffer through it and learn it. And I proved to myself that it's not true. That the hard stuff is beautiful, and that when you give up on learning, on the joy of mathematics, on the beauty of it, and you submit to this thing where you just do what you're told and memorize the things in the book, that you're robbing yourself of an education. And you know, it's the professors that are doing it because they're the guys that are telling you this, okay? This is why I hate the university. It's not because they're whiners and they're always asking for more money and they're living high off the hog and they have fantastic salaries and they're always going on sabbaticals and going to conferences in New Zealand and conferences in Paris and this and that. Yeah, they're whiners and that, I know they are. But, you know, we could afford them if that's all they were, was just expensive whiners always at the trough asking for more money. But you see, the real harm that they do is that they take people at an impressionable age, you know, when they were putting aside their childish ways and ready to learn as an adult, and they indoctrinate them with this awful style of learning where the purpose of education becomes merely to memorize, you know, the techniques in the textbook and drill yourself on problems so you can pass the exam. You know, what they've done is they're taking our whole educated class and turning them into something that they shouldn't be. Okay, this is my real complaint against them. So when I do the high advanced topics, it's because I'm trying to show that the way they treat advanced knowledge at university is not the right way to do it. That knowledge is beautiful. It's worthwhile for its own sake. It should be enjoyed. And should be respected. Okay. And that's why I do these hard topics. And now I know I've probably been rambling on, and you've been clicking the channel to Married with Children and Night Court. I know you're watching those other shows now because this is just about the most boring topic I've ever droned on about. But I'm sure it's about time to do a song by now. And you know, Elton John, he's a fantastic guy. He's just a beautiful singer and songwriter, and he's got a remake on the radio of a beautiful song from the 70s, which is that Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. I don't know the words to that. It's a beautiful song. Don't let the sun go down on me, na 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 na, na 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 na. There's always something else I see. Just allow the frazzling of your mind to wander free. Anyways, I don't know the words to that song, so I can't sing it. But we got another Elton John song we always used to do.
That sounds so good, man.
I love that, but I don't know the rest of the words. You know, it's a big piano sound. It's so beautiful, and he's got those na 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 na. It's like losing everything to see the sun going down on me. Na na na. I don't know the words. You see, this is why I keep telling you. But we got another beautiful song by Elton John called Daniel.
Let's do that one.
Let's do that one. B flat. Fantastic song. Oh, we were going to do some harmonies in there too. You remember those?
No.
Yeah.
We practiced some harmonies at the beginning of the show.
Daniel,
I told Marty they were
brother.
out of my range, and I conveniently forgot. I didn't think about them once throughout the song.
Daniel, my brother, so you'd be... That's right. That's it. That's right. Yeah.
People don't want to hear that.
No.
Don't flip the channel, Marty.
Let's just see how it sounds. You just come in. Whoa, say, Daniel, my brother. No, you got it wrong that time. You sang it wrong. Daniel, my brother. Daniel, my brother.
Okay, I'll try it quick before I forget it.
Daniel, my brother, you are older than me. Do you still feel the pain of the scars that won't heal? Your eyes have died. Yeah.
Yeah, it would
Harmonies
be
workshop. Yeah, it would be all right. Always good when you get some of those harmonies in there. And you know, it reminds me that I saw this family singing on Channel 11 just last week, and now it'll be a month in the past by the time this gets on the air. But they just put us to shame. I mean, sometimes you see singing on TV, they're just standing by the microphones and they're not really into it. But this family was just superb. It was on some kind of Ukrainian show. I think it was Ukrainian, and there was a mother, the father, the daughter, and the son. Now, the girl... What do you call them? The Popowich family. Okay, your mama and Papa Popowich, and little sister Popowich. She's about, what, 8, 9 years old? Must be 9 or 10. And the brother is about 12 or 13. But, you know, they were all doing harmonies, but the little kids were up front, and they were just deadly singers. And they were doing this Ukrainian stuff, and it was outstanding. Yeah, we'd have the Popowich family on Mass with Marty anytime they want to come on. They were beautiful. And, yeah, I brought all this stuff to talk about, and then I ended up just going on and on. Was I just totally droning on in that long monologue, Neil, or what?
Well, Marty, you gave people, you told the people you were going to tell them why you're doing all the hard topics.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you actually made that point. I think you may have told the people why you often present university issues on your show.
Uh-huh.
But why do you do the hard stuff? Oh, yeah, because you want to prove to them that it can be done, that it can be understandable. The hard stuff can be done with understanding and intuition.
Yeah,
okay,
I think...
I guess the point got through.
I think that's a major point for me, and for that reason, in the next show, and I hate to say this, I think I'm going to try and solve the third-degree equation. You know, this is something that torture the audience with, because, you know, I really can't do it properly in 30 minutes, but it was my avenue to understanding this fantastic thing about the fifth-degree equation, why you can't solve the fifth-degree equation. To me, I had to understand that we solved the second-degree equation in high school, and then they told us you could solve the third-degree equation and you could solve the fourth-degree equation, but you couldn't solve the fifth-degree equation. So I figured, okay, let's see, first of all, how you solve the third-degree equation. That'd be one place to start, because it's a common-sense thing to do. But the mathematicians, they say, no, that's a waste of time, because it's not going to get you there, so don't waste your time solving the third-degree equation. Okay, I learned to solve the third-degree equation, and I find that starting down that road, you know, that's the way to go. Okay, now here's a fantastic song that, what are we going to do now, Neil?
Start something.
Yeah, okay, let's do...